You know what I've noticed now that I'm on the other side of 50? People don't just get older. They become more of something. People either get more peaceful, kind, good, more grateful, more enjoyable to be around. But some people, man, get old and they just get what? They just get angry, bitter, jealous. You've been around people that are still mad about what happened like 20 years ago, still comparing themselves to everybody else, still keeping score. I don't know, man. I don't think anybody wakes up one morning and says, I think I'd like to become an old, bitter, angry person. I just think it happens slowly. And, you know, at this age, 56, I'm becoming more convinced of something. What you allow in your heart today is shaping the person that you want to become later on in life. I want to talk about that because I think there's some things that we need to let go of before we carry them any farther. And one of those is comparison. Man, comparison, it will rob you because there's always going to be somebody who has something that you don't have. Somebody has a nicer house, more money. Somebody's career took off faster than yours. Somebody got the opportunity that you wanted. Of course, now, we have social media. So we literally carry everybody's highlight reel around with us in our pocket. And if you're not careful, you can spend so much time looking what everyone else around you is doing that you stop appreciating your own life. Well, I've learned that comparison never seems to leave you in a good place. You start with comparison, pretty soon it becomes insecurity, then maybe jealousy, then resentment. If you let resentment sit there long enough, it'll turn into bitterness. And then you start thinking, why did they get that? Why did that door open for them? And somewhere along the way, man, we have to learn this. I can't be grateful for my own life while constantly wishing I had somebody else's. So here's the point. You got to quit keeping score. At some point, man, we got to learn to get gratitude. And I really believe that gratitude in your life creates peace. And it doesn't mean that fake kind of gratitude, like everything is wonderful. Everything's not wonderful. Man, we've lived long enough to experience things, right? I've lost people I've loved, walked through hard seasons, lost things, been disappointed. But I still get to decide what gets the most attention in my heart. I can focus on what I've lost, or I could be grateful for what I still have. And right now, I just want to be thankful for what God's done in my life. You know, like I think about this Romans 8:28. If you've been in church, you've heard that. We know that all things work together for good for those who love the Lord and are called according to his purposes. And when you think about that, man, you think about how all the seasons of your life, God has been working in those seasons and he's taking you places. And so bad things have happened, but God can turn those bad things around and get you going where he already intended and planned for you to go. Good things have happened, and God uses those to shape you forward. And when you look back, and at this age of my life, 56, y'all, at this age of my life, I can look back over the bad things and the good things and see how God put guardrails up in my life that have led me always back to his path. I can be grateful for that. You know, I can think about people who've disappointed me, or I can be grateful over the people who stayed. I can obsess about the things that went wrong, or I can look back and realize how much grace he's given me to get through everything. I can look at my disappointments and my failures, but you know what? I still have another day. I have today, and I get to work at it today. And so for me, man, that choice matters because gratitude does something to you. It settles you. It reminds you, my life may not be perfect, but there's still so much more that's good. And at 56, I'm realizing something else, man. Life is moving really, really fast. So I don't want to waste my years. I don't want to be mad about the past or mad about what somebody else has or mad about what I didn't get. I don't want to compete with everybody. I don't want to carry judges. Did I say judges? I don't want to carry grudges. I want to enjoy my wife, my kids, the work God's given me. And I love to notice the ordinary days, man. I love sitting outside on the back porch or in the backyard or the front yard, watching our dogs run around. Just sitting listening to the birds. I don't get to do that enough, but I sure do love it. I don't have to be running and going and doing all the things. And when something good happens to somebody else, you know what I want? I want to be able to celebrate them because I finally learned it. Somebody else winning doesn't mean that I'm losing. Let me say that again. Somebody else winning does not mean that I'm losing. I want to celebrate my friends. And somebody else's blessing is not evidence that God has forgotten you. So stop thinking that thing. Maybe that's something somebody needs to hear today because maybe you've been carrying hurt or betrayal or somebody else got the opportunity you thought was yours. Maybe you were overlooked. Maybe somebody said something about you that wasn't true. Do you have to hold on to that or can you let it go? See, here's the thing, man. I'm not telling you it didn't matter. It did. It mattered. I'm not telling you it didn't hurt. It probably did. But here's the question. How long are you going to hold on to it? That's the question. Another year? 5 years? 20 years? We've all seen people who've gone through relationship breakups and 20 years down the road, they're still stuck in a moment. But at some point, the thing somebody did to you can become something that you're allowing to happen inside of you, and now it's changing you. And that's why the Bible talks about the dangers of a root of bitterness, because roots grow underneath the surface. Nobody sees them at first, but eventually what's growing underneath starts showing up above the ground. And bitterness eventually comes out. It comes out in how you talk, how you react, how you get offended, how suspicious you become, how hard it is to celebrate somebody else. It even changes the way you see people. And that's why you've got to deal with what's happening in your heart. So I started thinking lately about if God gives me the opportunity to live to be 65, 75, what kind of man do I want to be? What kind of man do I want my wife, my kids, those around me to experience? Well, I don't want to be that angry guy. I don't want to sit around complaining about everything that's wrong with the world. I don't want to be jealous of opportunities that others got that I didn't. And I don't want to constantly talk about the man that I used to be. No, I want to be somebody who brings encouragement to others. I want to be someone who speaks life into other people. I want to lift up younger people. I want to celebrate when somebody else succeeds. I love to throw my head back and laugh. I want to forgive quickly and hold things loosely, love people deeply, and live with gratitude. But here's the thing I know. I'm not going to just suddenly become that man at 75. If I'm going to get there, I've got to be becoming him right now. And so are you. So maybe today there's some things that you need to put down. Maybe it's jealousy or resentment. Maybe it's an offense that you replayed 1,000 times or comparison that keeps coming up in your life. Maybe you've been keeping score. Listen, you don't have to carry that into the next season of your life. Put it down. Forgive somebody. Stop keeping score. Celebrate somebody else's win. Look around at what God has done in your life and think about how thankful you can be for the God who loves you. Thank you for another day. Protect your heart because one day you and me, if we're lucky enough, we're going to be old, wrinkly faced, maybe bald headed. I don't know. If God gives us those years, I don't want to just have gotten older. I want to have gotten better, more peaceful, more grateful, more humble, more loving, more giving. Because we know that what you allow to live in your heart today is shaping the person that you're becoming tomorrow. So choose carefully what you let grow there. Hey, love you guys. Hope this helps. Hope it's beneficial. If it is, do me a favor. Subscribe so you get all of these messages. Hit the like button. Leave me a comment. I love to converse with you about it. Share it, whatever. All that stuff helps us to get something that's hopefully encouraging and challenging to other people. Love you guys. Have a great day. See you soon.